Hello, in this video we're going to learn how to use the if function in Microsoft Excel. We're going to discuss the different parameters needed for the if function to work, how to input the function into a cell and obtain the desired result, and we're going to do that by using this sample data. This sample data shows the due date and the amount due for different accounts we have for this month of September 2016. Let's say we want to show if one of these accounts is past due or it is still okay. To do that, I'm going to create a column here called past due slash okay. Click on enter. I'm making it bold by selecting the cell and clicking on the B here. You could do that also by doing Ctrl B on your keyboard. It's the same function. So I select cell D2. In this cell is where I will be using the if function to obtain the result I want. So to input a function, to input any function into Microsoft Excel, the first thing we have to do is input the equal sign. Once we have the equal sign in, we can start typing the name of the function. In our case, it's the if function. As you type any name of a formula in Excel, Excel will start suggesting the, from the library of functions it has. So as we can see, we see the if function here. Double click, and right away we get the parentheses open. The if function has three parameters: the logical test, the value is true, and the value is false. First, we need to input the logical test. So what will be the logical test? What we want is to evaluate if the due date is later than today's date. To do that, we say due date, which is on B2. We click B2, and automatically that's referenced in the formula here. B2 is greater than today's date. To get today's date into Excel, Excel has a function that does that for you. That function is called today. So you start typing again, you start getting suggestions from Excel. You double click, open parentheses, and for this function, just close parentheses. Why we use today as a function? Because we don't want to use a constant value, because today is the 21, tomorrow will be the 22. So when you open the Excel workbook tomorrow, by using this function, you will read tomorrow's date. So that's why we need to use the function. So we have the logical value already, B2 greater than today. Then we input a comma to move on to the next parameter. Now the value is true. This is the value that we want the if function to output or to do. This could be a function, which we will discuss in later videos. So what will be the output if this logical test is true? If the due date is greater than today, that means this account is okay. So we want to output okay. To let Excel know that we want text out, we use quotation marks. Let's do that in caps. So we do okay. Close quotation marks. That means what we want out is the text okay. Then comma to move on to the next parameter. Now this is the output that we want if the value of this logical test is false. So if the due date is not greater, if the due date is greater than today is false, meaning is is before, that means the account is past due. So we want to output past due. Type past due within quotation marks. Sorry, click enter there. Past due, close quotation marks, and close parentheses to close the function. And click on enter. As you can see, we get the output okay. Why? Because the due date is September 30 and we're doing this on the 21, so we're still okay. Now to get the other values, we select the lower right corner of the cell and scroll down to the last cell, D8. So now we have the values, the result for all the accounts. So these two accounts are past due, Loan 1 and Cable Phone Internet. You better pay these bills to not get a late payment fee. Alright, thank you so much for watching my video. Please stick to my channel if you like the way I explain things. I'll be posting many videos from now on. Thank you so much.